Welcome to Choosing a Medigap Policy, a guide to health insurance for people with Medicare, presented by Donna Torno with United American Insurance Company. There is my information on the screen there. My name is Donna Torno. I am an agent with United American Insurance Company. I'm also an insurance broker and write for many companies, so if you want to see what else I can do for you, please visit my website, cltcbroker.com. So let's get started. Today I'm going to help you understand your Medicare choices, unravel the mysteries of Medicare, and understand your options so that you'll make the right choice for you. 5 questions you're going to want to know, and what is Medicare and what are your choices? 2, you want to know, how do I choose the right Medigap policy? What is it going to do for me? 3, you want to know, how do I determine which plan is right for me? You want to know, where do I buy a plan? There's many places you can buy one. I hope you buy it from me, but there are many places where you can buy one. I'll show you how to find out. 5, which carrier should I use? What is Medicare? It's a health insurance program established in 1965. It's easy to remember because you have to be 65 in order to start. Provides health coverage to millions of people that are either over 65 or people who are disabled or people who are in permanent kidney failure. United American Insurance Company MedSup policies. You can apply for a MedSup policy 3 months prior to you turning 65. And United American Insurance Company takes applications up to 6 months in advance for Medicare effective date if you're turning 65. So if you're 64 and a half and above, you can go ahead and put in your application. And it will take effect on your birthday. We can get you all set up. If you're not currently on a MedSup disability policy. So if you're on disability, you do have to wait until you've made it to your 2-year mark before you become eligible for Medicare, unless you're turning 65. But we just can't take your application 6 months ahead of time if you're on disability. Medicare Part A, hospital insurance. It helps cover inpatient care while in the hospital. It helps cover skilled nursing facility, hospice, and Medicare Part A is your hospital insurance, and Medicare Part B is your medical insurance. And Medicare Part B helps cover doctor services, hospital outpatient care, and home health care. And it also helps cover some preventative services to help maintain your health and to keep certain illnesses from getting worse. You want to get set up with Medicare Part A hospital insurance, which is free, and Medicare Part B, which is your medical insurance, your doctors and stuff. You don't want to skip those steps. And then you can get Medicare Part D, and that is optional, the Medicare Part D, but I would not go without it. And if you don't get Part D when you turn 65, if you want to get it the next year, you have to wait to open enrollment, and for every month that you don't have it, you'll be fined by the government a percentage of your drug plan for the rest of your life. So try to get it. Medicare Part D, the coverages run from $15 to $100 a month. So it depends on what drugs you take, which one is best for you. And you can figure that out at medicare.gov. And if you watch my webinar on medicare.gov, I'll show you exactly how to do that. Part A is hospital insurance. Medicare Part B is the medical insurance. And so learn more about Medicare, including the Medicare Part C. That's Medicare Advantage plans. We don't have them with United American, but I do sell Medicare Advantage plans with other carriers if that's the route that you'd like to go. Medicare Advantage plans, they also have Part D incorporated within them. So if you go with a Medicare Advantage plan, you do not need a Part D. Medicare Basics, you've got A and B. That is your original Medicare. That is what first came out, Part A and Part B. And then came out optional Medicare Supplement Insurance. You can choose that if you want something that will cover all the gaps, as there's going to be gaps at Medicare Part A and Part B that we're going to go over in a minute. You can see there are a lot of gaps, so you want to be properly covered with a supplemental policy. And then optional is Part D. You don't have to take a Part D, but like I say, if you don't take a Part D when you are first offered, you will be fined. And that fine carries the rest of your life. It's not just a one-time fine. So Part A is automatic. If you're receiving Social Security benefits already, it's going to be automatic. If you're eligible at age 65, or if you've been on disability for 2 years, you are also eligible for Social Security benefits and Medicare. Premium free for most people if you've been paying into Social Security. If you're on Social Security already, if you have railroad benefits, then your Part A is free. If you didn't pay in enough, then you may have to pay a little bit. But if you or your spouse had Medicare covered government employment, you may have to pay a little bit if you didn't pay into Social Security. So you'll have to check with your Social Security and where you're at on that. But most people get Part A for free. Medicare Part A coverage takes care of inpatient hospital room and board, takes care of skilled nursing facility. It does not take care of long-term care. So if you're looking at long-term care or thinking about long-term care, I know a lot of us are in the sandwich situation where our parents are going through that right now, and we see what they're going through. So if you've been looking for long-term care, you can give me a call, because I also write long-term care for A-plus companies all over the nation. So that takes care of a long-term kind of issue. Skilled nursing facility will take care of you up to 100 days, but there are some rules. So if you're on Medicare and you go to the hospital, you want to make sure you're in there 3 full days, and we'll talk about that a little more in a minute. The hospice and respite care services is covered by Medicare Part A. And it takes care of some home health care services, depending on your situation and your needs at the time that you leave the hospital. You might get some home health care services. And it takes care of blood. If you need a blood transfusion, it pays for that. And then out-of-pocket medical costs for Part B, you're going to pay $104.90 per month. It's going to be deducted from your Social Security check. And the deductible, there's a deductible for Part B each year of $147 per year. Now, if you have the proper Medigap policy, that's going to pay that deductible. The coinsurance, Medicare approves the charges, and then you're going to pay 20% of the doctor's charges. So we'll see that in a moment and on another slide. The hospital, if you go to the hospital, if you have an event, if you fall and trip or break a leg or have a more serious issue, the first day you're in the hospital, you're going to pay a $1,260 deductible with Part A. That's why it's important with all these charges that you might likely be responsible for, is to have a proper Medigap policy that will take care of those charges. Skilled nursing care, a minimum 3-day stay. So when you are in the hospital and you have something going on, like you've had a stroke, and you need to get some more physical therapy, you need to go down to a skilled nursing care facility after you've been in a hospital. You have to be in the hospital 3 full nights. So make sure that they keep you, and the doctor recommends that you need skilled nursing care so that you will be covered. So the first 1 through 20 days at the skilled nursing care facilities after being in the hospital for 3 full days, and the doctor has recommended that you need physical therapy, then that is covered 100%. And then you're going to be responsible for $157.50 per day, day 21 through 100. So that's where the Medigap policy will come in play and take care of those charges for you. It also takes care of hospice care for terminally ill people who have less than 6 months to live. Wonderful people. They'll come out and help the family go through that grieving period at the end of your life. It takes care of blood. The first 3 pints are usually covered by your Part A. If you need more than that, then that's where your Medigap policy and your Part B will pick up. So Part B is for medical. It's optional to enroll in it, but and you can delay it for special reasons. So if you're still working past 65 and your employer has a medical plan that you can stay on, then you don't need to enroll in Part B because they're taking care of you. With the cost of insurance going up and everything, it's likely that your employer is going to want you to go on Part B. And like I say, if you work for a big entity, you might want to check with them because they may likely reimburse you for that Part B because they're tickled because you're going on Medicare, and that's less risk for them if you were to have a health event. So your monthly premium for the Part B is going to be $104.90 for most people, depending on your income level, and it's deducted from your Social Security check. Now, if your retirement people are going to reimburse you, then you'll see that reimbursement in your retirement check. So you can enroll 3 months prior to turning 65, excluding the month of your birthday. So you really have 7 months to enroll. 3 months before your birthday, the month of your birthday, and 3 months after your birthday. So Medicare Part B coverage, it's doctor services, outpatient care. You're welcome to Medicare Visit, where you get to go and get a physical, and your preventative services, flu shots, and ambulance services. Covers cancer screenings and chemo, diabetes screenings and supplies, durable medical equipment, limited chiropractic vision and hearing, but it does cover some of that, and occupational therapy, physical therapy, and laboratory services. So as you can see, Part B is extremely important to have. So here's your 2015 Part A and Part B. And as you can see, when you're hospitalized, Part A is for hospitalization and you're confined. You're going to pay that first $1,260 deductible, even if you're in there for 1 day or 60 days. And then after 60 days, you can see how much it is per day that you're going to be responsible. So you're going to be responsible for all the things that are in blue. And this is if something terrible had happened. But remember, again, with the proper Medigap policy, you're going to cover all those gaps and all those fees will be paid 100%. So we'll take a look at what you can do to take care of that. And you can choose if you don't want to be covered 100%. If you want to pay a little bit, you can choose to do that as well. And remember, again, the blood, 3 pints, and then 20% of the approved amount for additional pints. So you've got to have some other coverage, Medigap policy. If you go with original Medicare A and B, you really need to look seriously at getting a Medigap policy so that you'll be covered and you won't have to worry about all these fees if you had a bad year. So plans available to help cover these gaps in Medicare. Let's look at those. So first of all, Medicare pays 80% of all charges, all approved charges, I should say. If you go, want to get a facelift or something, they're not going to pay for that. But they're going to pay for most medical charges, 80%, and you're responsible for the 20%. That's the gap. You're also responsible for deductibles and co-insurance co-pays up to a maximum, depending on what plan you choose, and the excess charges. Some specialists are allowed to charge more than Medicare allows because they are specialists, like anesthesiologists, if you have to go into surgery. There's 11 standardized plans available across the United States, Medigap plans. United American sells 10 of these plans, so I offer 10 of these plans. So if you like one plan over the other, I'm sure I can help you out. The only plan that we don't sell is the M plan, and it's really kind of duplicated by some of the other plans, so that's why they've dropped it. You can see there's some letters missing, like the H and the I and the J. They used to have those across the country, but they've been replaced by, maybe the L and the M. So, not all companies have to offer all plans. So, as you go to Medicare.gov and you put in your zip code and you look and see what plans are available in your area, you might find some very interesting how some companies only offer 2 or 3 plans. So Plan F is the most comprehensive plan that covers everything. So all those gaps in A and B and excess charges, everything is covered if you have a Plan F. And so F is the most comprehensive plan. So United American offers Medicare plans across the United States, but there are a few states they don't offer them in. They don't offer them in Minnesota, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts. As you look on Medicare.gov and search for the plan that best fits your needs, you're going to see that the availability varies by state and insurer. So you'll have to take a look at what plan works for you and what insurers offer it in your area, and then compare the pricing, etc., and the benefits, and then make a decision on which company and which plan you wish to go through. So all MedSup plans are guaranteed renewable, and what that means for you is if you were to get ill, they can't cancel you. As long as you pay your payment, they're guaranteed renewable every year. They have the flexibility and freedom for you to choose, so if you're on the wrong plan during open enrollment, you can choose, and you don't have to be healthy during open enrollment to change it up. So you're not stuck with a certain plan if it's not working for you. With Medigap policy, you can choose any doctor, any hospital, any specialist. There's no referrals. So there's no networks. So anywhere in the United States, if you are traveling, you over in Ohio talking to Aunt Martha, you get the flu and you want to go see a doctor, you can do that with the MedSup and with Medicare in place. So all companies must follow federal and state laws. They must offer some of the plans. They don't have to offer all 11 plans, but they have to offer plans within those 11 plans that are federally and state authorized. So the costs vary by the company, by where you live, and by your plan that you select from that company. If you selected an F plan from one company versus an F plan from another company, the benefits for your health is going to be exactly the same. The price might be a little different, and one company might offer different benefits over another. So you have to look at each one carefully before you make your decision. Companies also vary by their ratings and also by the stability of the company. So you want to go with a company that has great ratings and also has great stability, so you know that when you do need it, that you don't have any problems getting the payments paid. So as we look at the basic benefits of Part A and Part B, and we had some deductibles that we've talked about already, let's see how the Medigap plans would help pay these benefits, these deductibles. As you look across, you can see that the Medigap plans are also lettered, and just like Medicare Part A, B, and C, and D, we have a plan A, B, C, D, F, etc. But just know is that Part A and Plan A are completely different, and Plan A is going to pick up some of those Part A deductibles. It doesn't pick up the $1,260 deductible, but if you look across under Plan F, you can see that Plan F will pick up 100% of everything and even the excess charges. The only thing it doesn't pick up is when you're on foreign travel. If you're traveling overseas with yourself or you and your family, you should really get travel insurance, because what happens over in a foreign land is your Medicare doesn't work at all. But if you have a Medigap policy, then that will pay 80% of your health incident. However, you'll still be responsible for 20%. So if you had a serious condition where you couldn't be moved for several days, that it would be very handy to have travel insurance. So I do have travel insurance on my website with GeoBlue, where you get $1 million in travel insurance for about $1 a day, and it has no deductible. So I would do that before jumping on a plane. But just in case you don't, you do have foreign travel insurance, 80%. You would be responsible for 20 if that's all you had was the Medigap policies there. Now, when you compare the HDF to the F, you see that it pays everything, and there is that deductible. The calendar year, it says 2,180. However, if you're new to United American for the first year, they'll give you a discounted price. So you can subtract $500 from that 2,180, and that would be your deductible for the year. So that's about 1420, I think, if my math is correct. So you got to think about how many times do you go to the doctor? We've shown with statistics that most people only go a few times a year, $500 or $600. So you have to weigh out the cost of an F plan compared to a cost of a high deductible F and see which is better for you. Most F plans are between $120 to $180 a month, and a high deductible F is between $27 and $30 a month. So the excess, money that you're not paying for the F plan, you can put into a side account. United American allows, and you can only buy it if you buy one of their Medigap plans. But it will work just like the F plan then, because your money will be going into this account. It's a flexible account. You can put money in anytime you wish, and you can take money out for any reason. It doesn't have to be a health problem. But you can set up the account so that it works just like the F plan, and the high deductible F with a side account will take care of all your bills, and you don't have any paperwork. How are Medicare supplement plans priced? Some are issue rated and some are attained age rated. So issue age rated, if you bought a policy in October, but you're turning 67 in December, but it doesn't issue until January, you're going to be older, they're going to charge you as if you're 67. If you go with an attained age rated company, if you're same scenario, they're going to charge you as if you're 66 for that whole year. So you save a couple dollars if you go with a company that has attained age rated. So United American's Medicare supplement plans here in California use an attained age when you submit your application, however old you are at that time. And then every year, of course, the premium goes up as your age changes. So it's issued again each year, and it's issue age then rated. Preferred rates, if you do not use tobacco, then you'll get a preferred rate. Rate adjustments every year helps keep pace with rising Medicare claim trends, changes in annual deductibles. So Medicare supplement guaranteed issue qualifiers. So if you are involuntarily disenrolled from your employer's group health plan because they dropped their coverage, then you have a special enrollment, and that's guaranteed to you so that you can enroll. You don't have to worry about if you're healthy or not. If you're involuntarily disenrolled from your Medicare Advantage plan, you also will have a special enrollment time. If Medicare Advantage plan goes out of business or moves out of your area, you'll be able to pick up original Medicare. If you're enrolled in Medicare Parts A and B, you have to be actually enrolled in Medicare Parts A and B to either pick up Part D or a Medigap policy or a Medicare Advantage plan. So first thing you need to do is get hooked up with Medicare A and B. then you can do that within 6 months before you turn 65. So if you're within 6 months of turning 65, give me a call and United American can get you all set up. You cannot be denied during the open enrollment period, and you cannot be charged more because of your health. So every year you're going to have an open enrollment period, so just know that you're not stuck with a plan that you choose. If it doesn't work out for you, you'll be able to choose another one during open enrollment each year. Okay, so you must go through underwriting if you're outside open enrollment. So if here in California, a lot of people don't know, but they're able to switch their Medigap policy at any time to another Medigap policy within that company or with another company outside of open enrollment, but they have to be healthy. Because if you're outside of open enrollment, you will go through underwriting, and if you're not healthy, you'll be denied. So there's a pre-enrollment period for Medicare Advantage October 1st through October 14th. So if you're looking at Medicare Advantage, give me a call. United American does not sell Medicare Advantage, but I do with other carriers, so I'd be happy to assist you with that. During the annual election period every year from October 15th through December 7th, that's when you can switch things up. So if you're not happy with your Medigap plan, you can switch to another Medigap plan. And then during January 1st through February 14th, if you're on Medicare Advantage and you're unhappy with it, you can disenroll during that period of time. So how do people save money on any kind of insurance? The answer is they raise their deductible and save premium money. So let's take a look at that, what that would look like if you were to do a high deductible F, raising your deductible, and how you could save money. Because let's look at it. Your basic benefits with Medicare, your Part A and Part B, your hospitalization, your Medicare medical expenses, your blood, and your hospice stuff. You've got some deductibles that aren't going to be paid. Then your foreign travel, if you don't have Medicare at all, you can't have a Medigap policy. So if you didn't have a Medigap policy, you would have no coverage if you're going to travel foreign overseas. You could buy just travel insurance and you would be covered $1 million with no deductible as well, even if you didn't have Medicare at all. But I wouldn't skip any of this. Your plan high deductible F pays just like a plan F, and with foreign travel, what happens is Medicare doesn't come in play at all. Medigap picks it up at 80%. You're responsible for 20%, but they only pay $50,000 max overseas. So if you had a heart attack and were in the hospital for a while and couldn't be moved for some time, it could really rack up the bill. So you want to get foreign travel insurance, and you can get that through GeoBlue through my site, cltcbroker.com. But let's go over the plan HDF. Like I say, United American has a side account, and you can put your money in there, the excess. So let's say plan F costs about $150 to $180 a month, and plan HDF is $27 to $30 a month. We'll look at that in a minute. So let's see, Michelle has an HDF policy, and what happens when she has a Part B claim? The doctor Part B claim was $100. That was what was approved. But Medicare paid 80% of that. They paid $80. And so she was responsible for $20, 20% of that. And but she's met her deductible with the HDF, so she owes nothing. If she hadn't met her deductible, she would pay that $20, and that would be applied to her $2,180. So you have to think, how often do I go to the doctor, and how much is mine per year? And if I put that extra money in my account, I might be better off. So let's see how it would be suitable for a husband and wife and how it could help their budget as well. So if you're paying about $172 a month for your Plan F premium, both you and your spouse, that's quite a bit of money per month. And if you go with a high deductible F premium, is $31 a month for each of you, then you're saving quite a bit of money per month. If you're saving that much money per month and you multiply that times 12, you're saving a combined annual premium savings of $3,384. If you took that $3,384 just in that first year and put that in each of your accounts, split it up even $1,600, and you did that for 2 years, you'd each have $3,384, and then you're 3% earning 3%. It could very likely pay all your health costs, especially if you don't go to the doctor very much. And over the years, you'll save a lot of. So the potential savings in 10 years, if you did that, would be about $33,000 combined savings in 10 years. And, if you're going to live another 20 or 30 years, that's quite a bit of money, even in 10 years, to have saved. So that's certainly worth looking into. And I can tell you more about the side account that United American has for people who purchase their Medigap policies. So, which plan is right for me? When you're turning 65, you have one time open enrollment period, and the decision you make today affects the quality of your care tomorrow. So I recommend the F plan. If you have a lot of issues going on, you have no money to put aside. If you have a couple $1,000, $5,000 to put aside and to set up the side account, I recommend the high deductible F. It would work beautiful for you, just like an F plan, and for very cheap. And even when you're in your 80s, instead of paying $400 or $500 a month, you're going to pay about $60 a month. Which plan is right for me? Well, do you want the flexibility and freedom to choose your own doctors? Well, I think so, yes. I know I have written this for a little while, and everyone loves the ability to travel and be back in Ohio at Aunt Martha's and be able to go to the doctor if they need to see a doctor for some reason and not be out of their area. With Medicare Advantage, you have a local network, so you may be out of your area and have to pay out of pocket. Which plan's right for me? And do you want to choose your own specialist without referrals and not worry about networks? And that's what I was just talking about. If you're traveling across the United States, then it's nice to have original Medicare because you can use it everywhere. Do you want to choose the best cancer treatment facilities available? I would think so. We don't know if we're going to be faced with cancer treatment, but we sure would want to go to the best facility available if we were. Which plan is right for me? Do you want to pay a lower premium to save? Well, maybe. And over the years, you're going to save a lot of money with going with that high deductible F. So if you can, put money in your account. And one thing I want to say also about that side account, it's like a health savings account, but it's not. It's an annuity, but it's flexible. So you can put money in anytime you want. You don't have to put it in every month. And you can take money out for any reason. So you don't have to take it out just for health care. Do you want the flexibility, security, and stability of a guaranteed renewable Medicare supplement policy? Well, I would think so, and they can't cancel you unless you don't pay. Do you want a plan that includes foreign travel? Well, I would, if I traveled overseas a lot or, was just worried about what if something happened to me, I would want to have travel insurance as well. Not only the Medigap travel insurance, but I'd want that other 20% paid by a travel insurance policy with Geo Blue. I'm not sure what my health will be in 3 to 5 years from now. Should I consider a lower cost plan and then switch to a better plan down the road? Well, maybe. You can only switch to a better plan down the road if you are healthy. Well, actually, that's not true. You can do it during open enrollment as well. But during open enrollment, you may get ill in February, and open enrollment isn't until the following October. It doesn't start until the following January. So you have to take that into consideration. And like I say, the HDF works for people who are able to put $50 to $100 a month, or even fund it immediately with $2 or $3 or $4 or $5,000, so that the annuity pays for itself, the health care cost. So that works well for that type of person. But if you are unhealthy and are worried about it, then the F plan works the best. Do your homework, choose an informed local agent. Anyone in your state can sell you a policy, and most companies are online now. If you, United American has online submission, but the agent has to still do it. Some of my other companies I work with, you can actually click on my links and do it yourself from my website. So you can take a look there if you want to go with a different company. And if you want to go with a different company that's not there, please give me a call, because some of the companies are just going online and they don't have it set up for the agents to broadcast it yet. Ask about their qualifications and their designations, and you can also look at the California Department of Insurance. You can put my insurance license number in there, and you can see my certifications, my continuing education units, all the companies that I am appointed with and can write business with. And you can also look at my website for that information. So how do you select an agent? Well, do your homework. You can ask how long they've been selling insurance and Medicare products. Your homework, and you can ask how long they've been a licensed insurance agent. Why is choosing a carrier important? You want an A+ superior rating for your company that you work with. And why is that important to you? That's important because that means that they have money on hand, they're paying their claims quickly, and that's how they've gotten to their A+ superior rating. How long the carrier's been in the MedSup business might be important to see how stable they are, because you want a company that is stable and has a superior rating. So you want to know, when you're choosing a carrier, how quickly does that carrier issue policies and pay claims. So do your homework when you're on Medicare.gov before you make your decision. And do they outsource their customer service call center, or is it here in the USA? United American is here in the USA, and it's in Texas, and you're going to be, the phone is going to be answered by a very friendly voice on the first ring. The background history is United American's been in business since 1947. It's one of the nation's leading writers of individual Medicare supplements. Their ratings are A+ superior, the second highest financial strength rating from AM Best Company for more than 35 consecutive years. This is as of 6/14. And A+ strong financial strength rating from Standard & Poor's as of August 2014. Well, thanks for attending. If you have questions, remember, just give me a call. There's my phone number on the bottom there. I am only one person. I will call you back just as soon as possible. And if you want to email me, my email is there, as well as my website. If you want to go to my website, you can get all my information as well. And if you need that travel insurance, if you're traveling overseas, please take a look at my website and take care of that before you go. Don't be surprised and not know that your insurance is not going to pay as much as you think. So thank you very much for attending. Again, there's my information. I'm going to leave it up just for a second there, and hopefully we can help you out.